9 signs she's falling for you without saying it. Wisdom must love is the attempt to form a friendship inspired by beauty. Marcus Aurelius stopped scrolling for just a moment, because what I'm about to share might already be unfolding in your life, and what you don't even know. There may be a woman in your orbit right now, someone you see often chat with casual Mabe, even work alongside who is quietly deeply falling for you. She's not saying a word, and that's not by accident. When a woman begins to truly care, not flirtatiously or playfully, but with real emotional depth, she rarely broadcasts it. In fact, she often becomes more cautious. Why? Because vulnerability. Car's wrist is guarding her heart, uncertain of how you'll respond if the truth slips out. Here's where most men get it wrong. They overlook these small shifts. They think she's just being polite or professional or worse. They assume she isn't interested because she hasn't said so. In reality, her silence may be the strongest signal of all. When a woman is mildly interested, may flirt freely, toss out playful hints, or joke about the idea of YouTube. When her feelings deepen, she pulls back. Not to push you away, but to protect herself. Her actions become thoughtful, deliberate, and nuanced. And if you know what to look for, the signs are unmistakably day. I'll share 9 quiet yet powerful signals that suggest she's not just intrigued, she's falling and she's feeling more than she's letting on tears. The surprising truth: if you notice even 4 of these signs, chances are she's thinking about you far more often than you real, imagining in conversations, wondering where she stands in your mind, and hoping silently that you feel the same sign. 1. She remembers the tiniest details about your life. Don't ignore it when she remembers the tiniest, most forgettable detail you once casually tossed into a conversation weeks ago. You're not just dealing with a good memory, you're seeing one of the first signs that she's falling for you. This isn't just sweet, it's strategic wisdom. Muses us to observe what's real beneath what's soddened. This is one of those moments. She recalls your favorite childhood snack. Not because it matters to her, because you matter to her. She remembers your annoying coworkers. Name your Tuesday dentist appointment, and that offhand joke you barely remember making. Why? Because in her mind, you're not background noise. AR, the headline when a woman begins to fall for you. Her focus shifts. Her brain starts tagging your wordstone. Quirks and moods as valuable data. It's a subconscious prioritization. It's what the no-Stoics would call emotional investment. When logic steps back and attention sharpens, is not just hearing, she's absorbing you. She remembers not only what you said, but how you said it was your voice lighter when you talked about fishing with your dad, at your eyes narrow. You mentioned that one regret. That's the kind of layered recall that doesn't happen by accidentity's presence. And that's Karen Ironmind doesn't get distracted by noise locks on demeaning. That's what she's doing. She's reading you like a philosopher reads a sacred text with intention. You must understand this kind of detail. Tracking isn't casual, it's intimate. It means she's forming a blueprint of your life in her mind, cataloging it with Stoic principles. Remind us not to be fooled by words alone, but to weigh actions and patterns as pattern the way till she circles back to something you mentioned. Only once is a loud whisper from her heart and brush it off. Don't call it nice, call it what it is. A signal. It's her saying, I see why I value you. I'm here, and here's where you need that iron mind to kick indent. Get swept up by flattery. Get anchored. In awareness, see her effort for what it truly is: emotional investment disguised as curiosity. She'll ask about the thing that stressed you out to Tuesday's egos. She'll recall that your favorite movie, the scene, is the one nobody else cares about. She referenced a story you told at midnight. You thought she was half asleep. That's not random. That's her heart. Taking notes. And that's a powerful sign, because no one invests that kind of energy into someone they plan to walk away from old Stoic. Wisdom tells you just listen, observe. The signs are always there for men wise enough to see. Theme. So be alert. Don't let your ego gloss over the depth of her attention. It's not flattery, it's connection. It's not about trivia. It's about emotional loyalty taking shape. And most of all, it's not just affection, it's alignment. You must pay attention to the signs, Becca's. While she may not say she's falling, her actions, subtle, deliberate, consistent, speak the language of someone who already has sin. To sign two, her body, anything from the paths of wisdom, you'll know that actions always speak louder than words. Now, this isn't just about eye contact or the way she smiles. This runs deeper. It's an energetic shift, a silent broadcast. Their entire obscured physical presence reorients when you enter the room. Not for everyone. For youth, it's no accident. Watch closely. She doesn't just glance, she positions. She leans in slightly, angles her torso towards you, finds a way to be within your orbit. Not too obvious, not desperate, just naturally drawn like a compass needle. Finding Norris's old wisdom in a modern body. Stoic. Rules tell us to observe, not obsess, to see clearly without illusion. If she starts sitting up straighter, adjusting her hair, or fiddling with her jewelry, when you walk in, that's not just fidgeting. That's instinct. That's interest sharpening itself. Her body is making space for you, not just in proximity, but in presence. And don't ignore this. She becomes more graceful, more deliberate, like she's suddenly aware of the stage, slight being on. And guess what? You are the audience as she's not doing this for. Anyone else she's not performing, she's revealing. Take note. If she lingers in the mirror a bit longer before meeting up with you, not out of vanity, but intention, wants to be seen, remembered, desired by you. This is not just Roman seats. Practical stoicism in motion. She's choosing her actions with care. She's showing her value. Silently but clearly, another clue. Mirroring. You lean back. She leans back. You laugh loud. She lights up. This isn't copying its connection. Subconscious, sure, but powerful. Her nervous system is literally syncing with yours like a dance. Without music, you move. She follows that gentleman as one of nature's oldest signals of attraction. She'll also find reasons to stay in your line of sight. She'll navigate the room with invisible intentional. Find her in corners where she can see your reaction to things. If you're speaking in a group, her eyes will dart your way just a bit more. Often that's not coincidence. That's chemistry. Now don't mistake these signs for random. Friendly, be naive. Not every smile is a declaration of love. But when all these signs line up, posture, the presence, the mirroring, the positioning, you're not imagining things. This is a lesson from the paths of wisdom. If a woman changes her rhythm around you, you matter to her. So what do? Mindful, not overbearing. Don't call it out. Don't joke about it. Just notice. Receive it with quiet strength. That's what a Stoic man does. Sees the truth and lets it guide his next move. And remember, this love doesn't always roar sometimes. It whispers. Sometimes it curves a spine or tilts a head or smooths a gesture. Asterisk. And if you're wise, truly wise, you'll hear that whisper before she ever says the word. So stay sharp, stay grounded, and above all, listen with your eyes. That's not just attraction. That's affection in disguise and practical. Stoicism demands that we don't miss what matters most of. You found this insight. It's valuable. Like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this and subscribe for more timeless wisdom rooted in Stoic clarity. Comment to remember, I attract genuine connection effortlessly. What someone else signed 3, she creates reasons to text you throughout the day. When a woman starts initiating contact throughout the day, not just replying, that's not a coincidence. It's intent. That's focus. That's one of the silent signs she's falling for you without saying a word. Doesn't just send a message to pass time. She sends it because you're on her mind. Understand? This texting has become her way of building a connection, forging a rhythm with your life. When she sends you memes, random questions, articles, or even pointless jockishes not being random, she's seeking intimacy. She's weaving you into her world thread by thread. She could Google that question, but she doesn't want information. She wants interaction. And when she says this, reminded me of you, you must hear what she's really saying. You're in my thoughts. You're part of my world and mistake this for boredom. Don't trivialize it. This is a form of emotional investment asterisk. Subtle but powerful. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Saint Seneca, don't overthink her silence. Observe her actions. She texts without needing a replish. Reaches out simply to touch base with your presence that is not noise. That is signal fat. Stoicism and modern form restraint with intention. When someone values your energy, they find reasons to keep it close. You must recognize this. You must see that attention is currency in today's world. Learn to read what's not being said. Notice how her replies get longer, how her response time shrinks, how her words carry more weight, more care, more reflection thoughts. Not casual, that's effort. That's intention in a world of instant swipes and shallow connections. Flirt is the rarest form of affection. When a woman starts investing emotionally in your daily life, revealing a truth, she might never say aloud, you matter to her. And if you're wise, if you're grounded in Stoic wisdom, you won't chase or overanalyze. You will observe, adapt, and that's how you win. That's how you keep your balance. That's how you command respect by remaining unmoved yet deeply aware. Let's be clear, if she texts without prompt, she's thinking about you. If she shares something small and says this reminded me of you, she's inviting you into her inner space. If her texts grow in warm thought and frequency, she's investing in something real. Don't play it cool, play it wise. Like Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. React with purpose, react with clarity, react like a man who knows what he wants. In modern life, we're distractions. Dominate and attention is currency. A woman who reaches out consistently isn't just passing times, is prioritizing you. That is rare, that is valuable. And that is one of the 9 subtle signs she's falling for. You're rooted in ancient Stoicism dressed in digital language. Don't miss I recognize irrespect with steadiness, with self-mastery. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you master not just relationships, but life. Self-signed for she becomes protective of your time together. When a woman starts guarding your time like a treasured chest, old Stoic wisdom spurs thought, something meaningful is stirring beneath the surface. She won't shout it from the rooftops or tattoo it on her forehead. But pay attention. The signs are subtle, but they carry weight. If she's slowly pulling you away from the noisiest, suggesting quieter, more personal spaces over chaotic group hangouts. Not coincidence, that's intent. An iron mind recognizes that love doesn't always announce itself. It often arrives wrapped in silence and small gestures when she says, one more drinker nudges you into walking a little longer after dinner. That's her trying to make the clock her ally, stealing extra moments because your company nourishes her. Don't mistake this, for Clinist is a woman carving out a sanctuary where your presence is sacred. Be wise enough to notice when she stiffens just slightly. Hand. Someone interrupts your time together. She may smile and brush it off, but her energy shifts her. Eyes lose a spark that's not drama. It's depth. She values the moment and doesn't want it. Fracturate. A man rooted in Stoic principles. Sees the deeper truth. He doesn't overlook the way she recalls a story told 3 weeks ago or the way she remembers. Your coffee order without a Skinco's fragments of memory. They're not random. There are evidence clear as marble statues that she's emotionally investing quietly collecting pieces of your time like priceless heirlooms. That's old Stoic wisdom and motion love that is revealed not in noise, but in the way she protects the bond, treasures it, honors it in her own way, and be fooled by modern distractions. A woman who is falling for you will start to treat your shared tamat as casual, but as ceremonial. If you don't see it, you'll miss the whole point. This isn't about romance novels or Hollywood drama. It's about real presency. A grounded man, an iron mind forged in stoic resilience, sees through the noise, feels the meaning in a softly spoken stay a little longer. He doesn't run from emotional investment, meets it with clarity and calm. That's the lesson here. Don't overlook the quiet. Oh, moments she tries to stretch and brush off her memory for details, or her pause when the phone rings. These are not small things. These are signs protecting your time together is her way of saying without saying, "You matter to me." And if you're wise, truly wise, you won't need her to say it out loud. You'll already know love doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just lingers a little longer at the end of a walk. That's where old Stoic wisdom lives. Not in words, but in presence. Be the man who notices. Be the one with the iron, mind it? Miss the signs. If you find this insightful, like the video, share it with someone navigating love. And don't forget to subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Comment to remember when she protects your time. She is revealing her. Art Scene 5. She asks about your dating life in careful ways. She won't come right out and ask, "Are you single?" That would be too bold, too risky. Instead, I'll step lightly like a cat, testing the floorboards before it leaps. Ouch. She'll ask you about your weekend plans, past relationships. She might even mention an ex just to see how you react to the word extent. Be fooled. This is an idle chatter. This is reconnaissance. She's on a mission. She's gauging the terrain before she makes her move. She's not asking. If you're single, she's asking the world around it. Pay attention to the quiet. Shift cheers where the wisdom kicks in. And this isn't about what she says, it's about how she adjusts. Watch what happens when you mention another woman. Even in passing, does her voice soften dose? She grow quiet, almost pulling inward. Does she laugh a little too fast or change the subject with a curious quickness states? It's not coincidence. That's calculation masked. By subtlety, she's not jealous. Not yet. She's assessing, she's wondering if her hopes are foolish or if they're just beginning to make sense. See this for what it is, a dance of restrained vulnerability. This is not small talk. It's silent strategy. A quote from the old Stoics that fits here. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it in her own way. That's exactly what she's doing. He's not declaring her feelings, she's living them quietly, waiting to see. If you're wise enough to notice, this is where the Stoic rules apply to your modern heart. Don't overreact. Don't make a socialist. Observe. Lean into the moment with curiosity, not control. That's practical Stoicism in action. Be the man who only listens to words. Be the one who hears. Meeting a woman asking about your Saturday night isn't just curious about your schedule. She's wondering if her name could ever be penciled in. Asterisk. Be clear-headed. Be present. That's what the paths of wisdom. Demand decode. Don't dismiss men, ignore these signs. They chalk it up to friendliness. Brush it off as coincidence. Be that man. A Stoic doesn't chase phantoms, but he doesn't dismiss the smoke if there's fire beneath. You recognize her intent. Not everything worth knowing is handed to. You want a silver platter? Sometimes it's wrapped in quiet questions and soft detours. That is where attraction lives in the unsaid. In the space between the lines, the takeaway read between her lines. She won't say, "I'm falling for you," but she will ask. If you're seeing someone not with words, but with curiosity cloaked in casual, when she leans in lightly to hear about your past or asks who's been making you laugh lately, didn't dismiss it. Don't stumble, that's a sign, and it's yours to read. Be wise, be attentive. That's how you walk the paths of wisdom with grace, and never forget. Practical Stoicism isn't coldness, it's clarity, it's understanding the world without illusion. That includes the gentle, brilliant ways a woman might test the waters of your heart. Sign 6. She shows genuine interest in your goals and dreams. Don't overlook this sign. Don't brush it off as politeness. This is not casual. This is not small talk. 1. A woman consistently shows genuine interest in your goals and dreams. She asks about more than just your job. She's investing emotionally. She's not just checking in, she's tuning in. She wants to know what lights your fire, what keeps you up at night. What you're willing to suffer for, she wants to understand. Your why, it's not flattery, that's alignment. And if she follows up, sends you articles, your milestones, brings up your plans with pride, that's no accident. That's intentional. That's devotion disguised as curiosity and stoicism. Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by events, but by the view we take of them. The wise man sees through the noise and looks at the signals. This is a signal, and if you miss it, you lose the game before it's even started. Woman who listens to your ambitions isn't wasting words. She's casting a vote for your future, sees your potential. She respects your drive. That is rare. That is powerful thought is how you win. She may even begin to open up about her own dreams. This is the ultimate test. She'll picture you in her future. If she's talking legacy, if she's looking for overlap, she's daydreaming about a life you could build together. You are not just a passing chapter. You are the blueprint that means something. Pay attention in the age of distraction. Focus is a gift, and when she focuses on your mission, is offering something sacred, emotional partnership, strategic alliance, and it just love but loyalty. The modern world rewards superficial stoicism, demands depth. And if you're serious about mastering your life, about building something that lasts, you must choose depth over noise. Epictetus would remind you, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. A woman who supports that version of you, that's no accident. That's Allen meant chase affection, cultivate respect, don't settle for attention, build admiration if she's asking about your goals, testing your vision. If she's helping you get there, she's proving her value. Recognize it, respond to it, rise to it. Validation. This kind of attention is a battlefield. Vantage. Let others get distracted. Let others chase dopamine. You stay the course, build your dream. And when she walks beside you, not behind you, not ahead of you, but beside you, that's when you know that's real thuts. Rare. That's stoic wisdom in action. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's relentless, consistent, powerful love. Real love doesn't announce itself. It supports it, shows up, it holds the line. You must hold the line. Two didn't question it. Honor it. Don't hesitate. Lead. She wants to believe in your future. Esso. Make your future worth believing in. That's how you build something legendary. How you win with discipline, with clarity, with stoicism. She sees you now. It's your move. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comment section. That is a huge motivation for use. Tank you sign 7. She becomes nervous and self-conscious around you. Don't mistake her nervousness for disinterest. Be smarter than that. Be observant. Jittery, flustered version of her that's not random. It's revelation. Stoic wisdom teaches that people often mask their deepest emotions behind their subtle signs. This one's wrapped in stammered sentences and half-full jokes when she fidgets with her higher verdicts. Her words or loses her train of thought the moment your eyes lock with hers. Just smile and dismiss it. Recognize it for what it is. Vulnerability cracking through the surface of her iron mind, usually composed and cool, now flutters because you've shaken her foundation. That's something that's no accident, you must understand. When a woman begins to fall for youth, emotional stakes go sky high. She's no longer simply enjoying your company, she's invested. And when someone invests their hearth, feared the loss, so don't be fooled by the stumbles in her speech, or the way she seems overly conscious of how she looks. She knows you'll be around. That's not vanity. It's reverence. She's putting effort into every word of every glance, every outfit, because she's hoping she'll be seen, heard, and above all liked by the one man whose opinion is starting to matter more than anyone else. Stat. SU, that's your power. Old Stoic wisdom tells us that love doesn't shout. It reveals itself in tremors, and this tremor, it's a quiet way She laughs just a second too long at your mediocre jokes, the way she pretends to be chilled, but the slight twitch in her fingers betrays her. That's the storm of affection meeting the calm front of self-control disrupted her balance, and instead of pulling away, she leans in. That's the real clinch, F. If it were just nerves, she'd retreat. But when she's nervous and still wants more of you, it's gold. That's the kind of signal Stoic. Principles tell us not to ignore Beck's courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the choice to stay. Even when you're afraid and that's what she's doing, she's choosing you. Even while second-guessing every word out of her mouth, be wise. Be steady. Don't tease her for it. Don't make her regret showing that softness. That would be weak. Instead, admire it. Respond with the same grounded confidence. That Stoic principles have taught men for generations. Calm under pressure, grace under scrutin, kindness without compromise. You must be her rock, not her critic. Her safe place, not her judge. It's flustered because she feels deeply. And that depth that's for a wry world. Where most people hide behind irony and disinterest, her nervous energy is honesty and motion. It's a sign that you matter more than you think. Old Stoic wisdom teaches that true strength lies not just in enduring hardship, but in recognizing sincerity when it's wrapped in fragility or nervousness isn't weakness. It's evidence. It's her heart showing up uninvited but undeniably are. It's not just another guy to her. You've become someone whose presence shifts her composure. She doesn't want to disappoint, so don't misread the signs. Be sharp. Be kind. Above all, be the kind of man her nerves can settle around, not because she stops feeling, but because she starts feeling safe. And when you see this sign, when her iron mind trembles just a bit in your present stand, look away, look closer. That's love quietly announcing itself. Sin, she opens up about deeply personal experiences. When a woman begins to open up to you about deeply personal experiences, her wounds, her fierce childhood memories, the battles no one else sees. This is not small talk, and it is never accidentally as a sign of something real, something powerful. It's not flirtation. It's not politeness. It's trust. Raw, unguarded, deliberate trust. Ubiquitous. Great Stoic once said, "If you want to improve your emotional depth, your ability to listen without flinching." She wants to see if you are the kind of man who can hold her truth without cracking. And that gentleman is not just attraction, it's emotional loyalty forming at the core. She's falling silently, strongly, steadily. Lou must recognize this signal. You must not ignore it. You must not betray it and brush it off. Don't mistake it for chatter. This is her reaching out through the noise of the world offering you. A piece of her soul. You must receive it like a warrior monk. Firm, calm, unshaken thieves is where Stoicism wins. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about being strong enough to handle the heat of real emotions without being ruled by them when she tells you, "I've never said this before." Stoop of everything. That's not a cue to change the subject. That's a moment to lean in. It's in those confessions. That real connection is forged. And that's where modern men failed. Fail, be the rock bee. The man whose presence makes her feel like she's finally home. This is not oversharing. This is sacred. When she talks about her past heartbreak, sure dreams that never bloom, the parts of her she keeps hidden from the world. She's not looking for sympathious, looking for presence. Let your silence speak louder than advice. Let your eyes show that you're listening. Ninju don't need to fix it, you just need to hold it. And that is strength. That is, leadership is what the old Stoic masters like Epictetus meant when they talked about resilience. And not just enduring storms, but becoming the calm within them. And that calm earns trust out. Calm earns love. That calm wins. In modern life, most men scroll past meanings, wipe away substance, and chase distractions. But you, if you're reading this, you are not most men. You are meant to master this life, to dominate the chaos, to earn devotion. Not through Charbo, through character. Let this moment be your turning point when she opens up. Don't retreat Rosaries into your role as protector of her vulnerability. Rise into the man who doesn't just her understands. Rise into the kind of presence that wins without needing to. Pursuing must be the man who recognizes the rare gift of her honesty and responds with strength. With ego, not with apathy, but with purpose. Be the one who listens like a leader, speaks like a king, and loves with courage. That is Stoicism. That is what Winto is, how you rise above the average and walk the path of mastery. So remember, when she opens up, the game changes is not a hint. That is not a test. That is her heart on the table. On the table, let your presence be proof she was right to trust. You be still, be strong, be ready. And when, if she starts revealing the parts of herself, she hides from the world. She's not just talking, she's trusting, though. Kind of vulnerability is never accidental. Comment below. I recognize trust when I see it. I will honor it. Let this be your reminder. Emotional intimacy is earned, not given sign. She subtly includes you in her future plans. When a woman starts weaving you into the fabric of her tomorrow's take, not with a trumpet bud, with the quiet rhythm of old Stoic wisdom, no fireworks, no tearful confessions, just soft, deliberate threads of someday, and what if it's not a coincidence? Sights, a quiet revolution in her heart. She says we should go there someday, and it sounds casual, but don't be fooled. It's not about the destination, it's about your presence in that picture. You'd love this place, my friends. Andy, visit every winter. That's not just a recommendation, that's a test. That's a woman holding the blueprint of her life up to the light, squinting gently to see if your silhouette fits inside it. It's a chess move wrapped in charm. Stoic principles teach us to look beyond noise and flash. And this right here is where the iron mind needs to listen. Hardisha is not just making plans. She's laying a claim. Don't dismiss. These aren't throwaway lines. These are soft scouts sent out by her heart. One, she says, if you ever meet my brother, you'll get along. She's not being random. She's being strategic. She's pre-screening the scenes where you might one day belong. That gentleman is intention dressed in everyday talk. That is long-term thinking, wrapped in the warmth of now. And if you don't catch it, you miss the quiet music of commitment humming beneath her words. Stoic wisdom tells to notice what others overlook. Be that man, it goes deeper. If she begins aligning her calendar with yours, suggest testing plans months out, syncing holidays, checking in on your 5-year vision. That's not just curiosity. Punch. She won't always say it out loud. You must read between the lines, not the lines themselves. She may never say, I see a future with you. That would be too blunt exposed. But she will say, you'd love the full colors upstate. And if you're not paying attention, miss, the depth and that Stoic principles teach us to be unmoved by chasebot. Finally attuned to meaning, that's your job here, not to overrect but to observe with the iron mind, because a Stoic man doesn't chase sins, recognizes them. He respects the calm before the storm, and in this case, the storm is love quietly brewing in the corners of her sentences. So, don't wait for her to spell it. Out in skywriting, be the man who hears what isn't shouted, who sees what's not posted. Beckos when she includes you in her plans, even in whispers. That's not just flirting, that's forecasting. That's a woman standing at the crossroads of caution and hope hand, the ones who know how to listen, the ones who live by wisdom. Musetti don't miss the moment she lets them in. Not with a bang, but with a gentle, deliberate sentence. Don't fumble that moment. Be sharp. Be steady. That's where love lives, right in the inn between Swan Suhun. 9 signs she's falling for you without saying it. Wisdom Musethics for watching 9 signs she's falling for you without saying it. Old Stoic wisdom. If you found this video helpful or insightful, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep. It's bringing you more content like this. I'd love to hear what you think. Did anything resonate with you? Do you have your own thoughts or questions about the science, sir? The Stoic approach to relationships? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I read everyone and enjoy hearing different perspective. A still next time. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and remember, real wisdom isn't loud, but it always shows